Hi, I'm DJ Colella. I'm here for my persuasive speech, and here are the people I will be presenting for. As you can see, there are four because I had two last time, so that's to make up for it. There's a movie called Idiocracy. It's about a guy who accidentally gets frozen and wakes up 100 and 200 years into the future. And what he wakes up to find is that everyone is really dumb. I mean, incredibly dumb. They have no sense of intelligence. Everything is about the entertainment industry, and they have no concept of how to grow food or how to take care of themselves. And that's the society he lives in, and he has to learn how to adapt. And it's really a funny movie, but a really dismal sense of future. Unfortunately, the reason why I mention that movie is because I feel if we look at today's society, there's a lot of that happening now. There's a lot of people who just aren't educated. Either they never went to school, or they dropped out, or they don't know how to use their education because they can't think critically, because they want all the information spoon-fed to them. I really think that's something we need to change about our society. I think a lot of people need to understand what education really is, the problems education faces in today's society, the reasons why people refuse to be educated, and why people should be educated, which is the basis of the speech today. There's a lot of different viewpoints on what education really is. The government really thinks all education should be is just giving you the knowledge you need to help give back to our American society. Of course, the Merriam-Webster dictionary only calls it having knowledge. A good quote on education, which I happen to agree with, is Malcolm S. Forbes: "The purpose of education is to replace a closed mind with an open one." Now, which viewpoint on education is right? All of them really are in one sense or another. Education should have the purpose of preparing a child for the world that they are going to grow into. Now, how do we do that? There's a lot of problems with that. Now, of course, we all know education is a big political topic, but really there's a lot of problems with the education system just because, well, for one idea, expenses. It is really, really expensive to run a school. You need books. You have a chemistry lab, you gotta pay for all the chemicals. You got a math lab, you need calculators, yada yada yada. You have a music program, you need instruments. You have sports, you need equipment. All of that costs money. Most schools depend on this money from the government, and since the government gives everyone money, they have to be really picky about which schools get how much money. So obviously the richer areas will succeed because they'll have more stuff to give to their students, but a lot of the poorer schools don't really have that kind of opportunity. Another problem with education is that it's becoming more of a daycare system than an education system, especially a lot of the not as well off schools, as we'll call them. Teachers see the kids more than parents, so they have to, take care of them, and because everything is litigized, if these students get hurt, the teachers are always responsible. So, and all the schools, it's getting more that the schools need to keep the kids off the streets than actually having them learn. I think that's a huge problem. And because of that, there are reasons students don't want to learn. Either they think it's too hard or they fear failure. which is really dumb because you can memorize song lyrics out the wazoo, but you can't remember the first 10 numbers in pi. I don't understand that. Learning should not be about success or failure mentally, but it should be about being able to use knowledge to your advantage in the future. Of course, there's some cultural problems too. A lot of cultures in our country shun intelligence. If you're smart, you don't belong in this group. This happens in a lot of inner city cultures and in some country cultures too, where it's much more important to know about the streets than how the world works. It's not really great, and studies show that these kind of cultures breed violence and crime. Of course, the biggest argument is, why should I learn something that I can just Google? Well, you won't always have the internet. I guarantee you, at some point or another, you're going to have to pay for internet out the wazoo. Internet will not always be as accessible as it is today. And also, it's about respecting yourself. And if you know things that you don't have to Google, other people can look up to you too. And that's a big self-esteem booster. So that brings me up to my culmination. Why is education important? Well, it makes your life easier. You get to solve your own problems, you get things done faster and more efficient, and you feel better about yourself. And it makes the lives of those around you easier as well. You can get a well-paying job so that you can either help other people in some capacity or just use your knowledge to make the world a better place, rather than just, I don't know, sitting in your basement playing video games for 16 hours a day, every day. That's not helping the world much. You can solve other people's problems, and that will make the world a better place. And you can teach others so that efficiency can be even broader among our country and culture as a country. So, in conclusion, it's okay to learn grammar. It's okay to learn the difference between there, and there. It's okay to learn calculus and math and algorithms and all that fun stuff. It's okay to learn how to solve a Rubik's Cube. That's nothing to be embarrassed about, because in the end, it helps the world. Thank you.